Hi all, it's Vamps here from the Sphere System. I'm going to be discussing Dyspraxia Masking today, at least a little bit. So obviously, the first thing to do is give a very, very oversimplified version of what dyspraxia is. Effectively, it's a disruption of bodily control. Reducing hand-eye coordination, proprioception, and sensory input as well, which is an interesting one. I don't know what I'm going to be drawing today. I'll figure something out, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. So, it can limit the effectiveness of various senses. It's just the level of disconnect between the brain and the body, effectively. And it that's not dissociation. It's just part of being dyspraxic is just that disconnect and difficulty in control. So yeah. So obviously it's far from ideal. It's certainly in our case. I mean, it can be significantly worse, but it's not severe in the grand scheme of things. But obviously there are things people deal with that are a lot more difficult. But it does still cause issues, and we do have to mask that it exists effectively. I mean, there's no other real choice there, unfortunately. Well, yeah, not. Yeah, even in the. Yeah, looking like you're less capable in some way or another is a good way to lose opportunities. And it does make you look less capable, it doesn't make. Well, it doesn't make you less capable outside of obviously specific fields where hand-eye coordination is particularly key, like sports in various ways. Although even then, some of that it doesn't necessarily affect too much, but sports are the big one where there's a level of difficulty involved inherently. Does that make sense? Because and obviously we'd never go for that sort of a thing anyway, because yeah, but it does require masking anyway, and you know, the hiding of the effects through a mixture of oh, both just writing off effects and hiding them by burning energy effectively to basically pretend they don't exist in some way or another. Sorry about that. Yeah. It requires spending time and energy to hide what's going on effectively and the difficulties being faced. It's a matter of just paying attention when you're doing anything and everything. Like it's a matter of paying attention when doing seemingly simple things like walking along flat surfaces still, just to not trip and fall. It's spending that energy focusing on walking even then, and it's making sure that everything is typed rather than handwritten, because handwritten is unreadable, especially if you want it to be written in anything approaching a reasonable time period. Yeah, it's yeah, and of course that energy is in limited supply. It's in limited supply with everyone, so you just have to spend the energy hiding away the fact that things are more difficult, because you can't appear to be struggling. That's not allowed. You can't go around. I mean, obviously, there's risks in terms of physical harm as well. There's a level where you have to focus on everything. Or things will get hurt. Like, um, it's just difficult to spend that energy all the time, and it becomes next. I mean, it's interesting things like our sense of smell is quite affected. We have a very poor sense of smell, and that's and you have to like pretend. Someone says, "Oh yeah, these flowers smell great." You're like, "Oh yeah, no, they smell great." You don't smell them. You're just going to assume that they do actually smell great because, hey, someone said they smell great, so you pretend they smell great as well. It's just little white lies, because can't have everyone knowing that you're deficient, less than, incapable, which obviously we're not, but that's the viewpoint people will take. That's the viewpoint people take with anything that's different. And the moment anyone has difficulties, and we know there are people with much harder things to deal with, that require a lot more energy, that sap a lot more, that make life more difficult, that um that raise new challenges that we don't have to deal with. But that doesn't make this easy, and we have to pretend it's easy, and that's the most difficult thing. Is because there is no way we'll ever get any support for this ever again. The only support we ever got was in school, and it was some extra time in the laptop and exams, which is only so helpful when you've had to handwrite all your notes, because you're not allowed a laptop in classes. And then we didn't get anything at university because our diagnosis was too old, apparently. So we had to go through all of that without any accommodation whatsoever. Which, I'm not going to say it's why we never graduated, but there's reason to suspect we'd have done better with it. Can't say for certain we would have done, but it would have felt like they cared, and that would have helped. No, it's not the only instance the university showed they didn't care, but it was the first one, and it's one that stands out to this day. Yeah. Um, yeah. I think that's everything. I went quite a bit off script, but there we are. This system signing out. Hope to catch you all next week. Please do remember to like, subscribe, comment, especially if you've got any questions you want answered. Be happy to answer them either in the comments or in another video. So catch you all next week.